Morning, everybody. I woke up this morning so irritated, so frustrated. Just almost like, yesterday my world was groovy and great, and everything was just wonderful. Today, I woke up, and maybe it was because I fell asleep last night. I was doing a training with my mentor, and I did not catch everything on the front side, so I was trying to catch the replay of everything, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe because I fell asleep in the midst of that, and I was just frustrated. I don't know. Maybe it's just that all the energy is high in people that I care about's lives and everything. Hey, morning, Marcus. But this morning when I woke up, everything was going okay, but kind of still felt a little off, just a little off. And then as the day has gone on, it's just been one of these irritation after irritation after irritation, to the point of questioning, how is it that I really truly feel today? Like, how is it that I really truly feel? Which, of course, led me to conscious coffee. And that's just the way it is. I always, try to pull in, what is that energy? So if I'm in this, wobble today, I'm sure a lot of people are in a wobble too. And what does the wobble mean? What am I even talking about when I say wobble? Then wobble, in my world, what I refer to as wobble, is that when you are just out of kilter in your emotions, in your feelings about life, in, what you want, what you don't want. And it's interesting. Sometimes it's hard not to wobble. Sometimes it's hard not to waver from our truth, which is what I refer to as soul. Wavering from soul is sometimes you're going to feel like, and I'm sure that you felt this way, where sometimes you just wake up, or like I did this morning, it's like, is God trying to tell me to go a completely different path here in my relationship, in my work, in what I'm doing, in anything? Of course, by the way, it's Tuesday, it's trash day. I'm still at home. I'm doing conscious coffee from my backyard, which is normally where I like to do conscious coffee from, but on Tuesdays it's trash day. So the trash truck is probably going to interrupt conscious coffee like it does every single Tuesday. We'll just pause through that. Hey, morning, Jeremy. So that wobble of getting out, sometimes it just makes it feel like you're completely on the wrong path in your life, even though nothing's changed. Like yesterday, everything was, like I said, everything was groovy, and then this morning, I feel like I'm on the wrong path in every area of my life, which is like one of those things. What is it that does that to us? And here's the thing. We can be triggered by little things that we don't even realize. We can be, stress often will trigger us in different ways. It'll pull us up. Sometimes we are fearing exactly what we don't want to have happen at such great passionate levels that we end up calling that into our life and making it, really prevalent in our life, where that's what the focus point becomes, which causes us to wobble and waver from what our truth is. And sometimes it's just that we have little things that are testing us, that are, hey, morning, Angela, morning, Addison. Sometimes it is that we just have little things that are testing us, and they cause all of this wobble and waver in our life. This morning I woke up, my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old, they're just in a funky mood. Those two, they were like, initially it was, oh yeah, we're going to go play a game with their older brother who's 13, and everything was fine. And now they're just like at each other's throats. And any of you moms out there, you can probably relate to this. Like, you can be in a great mood, right? You can be in a great mood, and then your kids go like that and throws you completely out of this, into this wonky mood yourself. So it causes the wobble. All it takes, though, is that once that wobble is created, it's like it just magnetizes more things to keep you wobbling to it. And then it gets this chaotic, crazy charge to it, and it's this avalanche of wobble, avalanche of waver. And where you didn't have the waver, all of a sudden you do have the waver, and it all starts with little things, right? And they build. And that's really truly where my waiver is coming from. It's just like this morning I woke up, and if I think about it, I was like, everything was fine. And then I had one little thing happen, and just because of being maybe a little bit tired today or something, because I didn't get the greatest night's sleep morning, just, it doesn't much matter, but I got wobbled in my energy. And as much as I try to be as very open and authentic with you guys, I admit this is a vulnerability share that is kind of one of those like, okay, why am I bringing this to the table right now this morning? Why am I going to go tell, the 200-300 people that view this every single day? I'm wobbling today. Like, I'm on the struggle bus, and I'm wobbling, I'm wavering in my energy. And I share it because I'm human. I am a work in progress, much like everybody else on this planet. And I think that it's really important for us coaches and educators, mentors out there to reveal that we're not perfect, and that we wobble, we waver, we struggle with different things with the same stuff that we teach and educate on. That these processes that a lot of coaches and educators and mentors are teaching, it's not something that you learn and you never have to go back and visit again, that you just learn and you're good for the rest of your life, and you're never going to have another challenge around that topic again. It's not the way it is. This path that we live on, called life, is circular, and we go around and around and around. We just, if we're doing our work, we elevate ourselves to be able to see things differently. We elevate ourselves to be able to get more clarity around it. We elevate ourselves through our work to be able, and work meaning internal work, we elevate ourselves to be able to move through things quicker. And I always proclaim to people, I'm like, what used to take me, 2 weeks, 2 months to get through, I can move through in about 20 minutes these days. So something that would really get me bottled up and just like wreck my world can you imagine having something like this morning, just like being wobbled off for all these little things that happened, of which none of it has any meaning towards my value, my worth, or anything like that. But it can make it feel that way. When we get into that wobble, we can feel as though I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable in this way. Why am I stressing out about this? I don't have my shit together. I don't have this together. I don't have that together. And that just gets that wobble really moving. And before you know it, we've created our own turbulent storm within inside ourselves, which then makes the world appear very stormy as well, as though, there's just everything out to get us, when in truth, it's just that we got into the wobble, and now we're trying to control something that wasn't even ours to control in the beginning, so just to let it go. But I share it because I ran around for a half a second going, I'm just not going to do conscious coffee today. I'll do it this afternoon when I get to the office and I'm working with clients and stuff, and I'll get to a better mood and everything. Then I'll share then when I'm in a better mood. I'll share when I've got everything figured out again. Morning, Jeffrey. When I've got everything figured out, that's when I'll share. And I went, you know what? That's not what my tribe wants to hear. I believe that a lot of the people that follow me, such as yourself, probably wants to see authentic truth. Doesn't want to see this proclaimed, ooh, I got everything perfect over here. You should try to be like me. You should listen to me. You should take my advice because nothing ever bad happens in my world. It's always perfect. It's always, as I stole this from some other coach out there. Can't remember who it was. But the comment of, life is always, life is not always organic chocolate, wine, and roses. And it's not for any of us. But I know that a lot of people try to depict that as their picture. And they feel that, as a professional coach, therapist, educator, mentor, that we should try to be this perfect person. And there's no such thing as a perfect person. We all have our challenges. Like I said, it is that circle of life that we keep going through, and how we elevate ourselves and move through by doing our internal work. We're still dealing with the same crap over and over and over and over again. It's just being able to see it through different glasses, through different platforms in our life, with these different vantage points where we can see things and be able to work at it at a little bit deeper level and start to do that release work in different ways. So, the wobble, the trash, the trash, maybe the wobble for the morning. I hear them. I think they're on the street across the way from me. The wobble is kind of, I'm going to use this. Like, here you go. Leave it to me to use my environment around me. The wobble really is kind of like taking the trash out. It is. It's kind of like you're taking the trash out consistently. When you feel yourself wobble, it's the, oh wow, my trash can needs to be taken out right now because I've allowed a lot of stuff to get stuck in there and I've just not been dealing with it in this whatever it is. It's kind of like you open up your kitchen trash and you're like, oh, I forgot to, you cook fish the night before and you forget to take the trash out. And then in the morning, you open up and you're like, oh, right? And it's like, that's not pretty smell. It needs to go out. Or you walk into your kitchen and it's like, something's kind of off. Like, something's cut off. Why do I smell why does it smell like that? Well, that is what a wobble is there's something that's just not quite right on the inside and you've been letting it sit there. And it rises up to a certain area where it's now wafting out of your system in these little ways, and you're being triggered in these little ways to alert you that, hey, there's some trash that you need to take out. You're not in soul alignment. My mentor wrote an article a couple days ago, and just her title alone made me go, because there's things that we all do that we're not, excuse my French, I'm trying to alert everybody to before I say a cuss word, like the F word, which is coming out. But sometimes we are trying to be a fuck yes to something or a maybe to something, and we're really not full on board. And there is no room for maybe when we are clearing, when we are healing, when we are doing our work. And that maybe land is the wobble. It is this like, that's what maybe is. Maybe is wobble. When you hear yourself, well, maybe I would like to do that. Well, maybe I'd want to do that. Realize that you just went and set yourself on the wobble fence and you are just going, I don't know what I want. And when you don't know what you want, then you're wobbling, completely wobbling. And one of her article that she put out, it was just basically, no, stop being a maybe and start being a fuck yes. Like, don't proclaim that you're a fuck yes if you're a maybe or you're a no. Like, stop pretending that you are all the way there, because chances are you're not. And as you can feel with certainty, with passion, when you are 100% on board with something. And those moments where we are maybe, you know what we do in those worlds? That's where we let everything else in our environment influence us. And when we allow things outside of here to influence us, it creates more of a wobble. But the reason why it's influencing us is because we're a wobble in here on something, on whatever that subject of our life is. We're a wobble in here. So all this other stuff can influence us. And we can go, oh, well, maybe I should. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. If you are questioning something in any subject of your life and you're not to it, a yes or a no, then realize that you're a wobble, and that means that you just don't know yourself around that, or you are scared to see your soul, your truth about that subject. And that is what it is. You got to get in there and you got to go. It's like, just go look in the mirror, make eye contact, and smile at yourself and go, okay, we're going to get real now, okay? We are going to get real with ourselves. And how do we really truly feel about this? And when I use the word feel on that, here's what I mean by feel. I don't mean, oh, I feel excited. Oh, I feel happy. Oh, I feel, anxious. No. How do you feel? Like, when you're standing there in front of that mirror and you're getting real with yourself about this area that you're wobbling in, because you're like, oh, I don't know, so-and-so said, I don't know, this keeps coming to me. What is God saying to us? What is the universe saying to me? I don't know, but here's where my talent is. Here's what my spouse said. Here. All of that, that's all outside, right? It's all outside. And in here, you're just like, I don't know. You don't know yourself. You're hiding from yourself. You're trying to not be responsible for your decision. in here, what you need to do is you need to stop thinking about what every one of these outside sources is telling you, okay? Every one of these outside sources is telling you. And just go, what do I feel in my body? What I feel in my body is tightness in my chest, is butterflies in my stomach, is excitement in my core. I feel great love. Like, can you close your eyes right now? And I encourage you, if you're watching this, close your eyes. Breathe into your stomach. Take your hand and place it on your stomach and breathe into your stomach. Take a really good deep breath. Like, let your stomach really expand out and breathe in. And then I want you to just feel love. See if you can tap into one of the, just don't focus on necessarily a face or anything like that that makes you feel love, but see if you can connect to the feeling of love without the attachment to another person or event. Just the feeling of love. And see if you can actually feel that. Notice what, once you have that feeling in your body, notice what it feels like. Like, notice what that's doing in your chest, in your stomach, in your whole body. Like, what does that really truly feel like? Because if you can tap into that kind of feeling, then you got all these other feelings in your body. And when you want to get out of the wobble, you've got to know what your body is telling you is right and true for your soul. Because that's how soul, that's how core, that's how the authentic you tries to communicate its wisdom to you, is through your body. And we ignore that. We try to mask it and cover it up in so many different ways. And we use drugs, both legal and not, over the counter and pharmaceutical. We use alcohol. We use noise. We use our work. We use health and fitness, where we're so focused on that we just cover everything else up. We use stress. We use our wounds. We use our fears to mask and cover up what we are feeling inside. And if you really truly want to get out of the wobble, it's tapping into your truth. Morning, Mark. Morning, Charles, Jeff. It's really truly tapping into who you are, and that means feeling it at a body sensory level. That's body wisdom back to the core. And that will help you get out of that wobbly state, because the wobble comes from here, and all the anxiety and thoughts and worries and all this different stuff that is trying to influence you. And all it takes is one influence, just one. You let one in there. You know, it's like, I years ago I wrote an article about a drop of ink. I don't remember what the title was. It was like 8, 9, maybe even 10 years ago at this point. I don't know. But I used the reference point of that you take a glass of water, and if you drop one drop of ink into this glass of water, that the water is now tainted and you can't drink it, right? So like, let's imagine that we drop one drop of gasoline into a 12-ounce glass of water or a 16-ounce glass of water. We're going to drop one drop, just one eyedropper drop of gasoline into that water. Would you drink it? You'd probably like, no, that's poison. Like, that's enough to do a lot of damage, if nothing else, to my physical body, right? One drop. Well, that's the exact same thing that happens with us when we allow one drop of outside influence into our sphere of, positive energy, or where we're trying to go, our directional sense. Those drops are those outside influences. And when we allow one drop in, it will wobble us in all these different ways. You can say, well, it's impossible not to let the outside world influence me. You're right. It is. It's absolutely impossible to not let the outside world influence you, because we live in this world where we are in constant interaction with our environment around us. We do it to ourselves, right? We listen to the news, we read the paper, we scroll through Facebook, we, are listening to this, we listen to the radio, we play different music, we have conversations with different people, we get wrapped up in drama. We love drama and sagas and all of this stuff, right? We love that. As much as we love the good stories, we also love the bad stories. And then we have our daily stresses, the creditors calling and the bills showing up in the mail, and we look at our bank accounts every single day, and we have our kids that are bickering and fighting, like me this morning, like kids that are just bickering and fighting. We have issues with our spouses, our sex life, our love life, our money life, our work life, our health. Maybe our body doesn't feel quite right. These are all influencers to that pure glass of water, which is our pure thought. And our pure thought is the only thing that we control. Now, you're going to be influenced. You're going to get these little drops. It's the recognizing that that was a drop from outside and not something that was actually yours. Where we tend to really buy into this and allow the wobble to keep going and keep us off our direction is that we buy into that outside influence. We purchase it and we say, this is ours now. This is my belief. This is accurate for me. This is just the way it is. The economy is. My family is. My health is according to blah, 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 blah. This is the way my love life should be. My sex life should be. This is what, this is just what it is. And when we focus in on what that outside world land is, we create the wobble, because most of it, probably like 99% of it, won't align to our core, won't align to what we know of ourselves. And the more we buy into the influence, the longer lasting that influence will be, and the longer that wobble will be. So back to know thyself, right? Know thyself, which is what? Back to that. It's very, very simple. And you can say, okay, well, that's just stupid. I'm not going to go stand in front of a mirror, and I'm not going to go and look at myself and close my eyes and breathe and take my hand and put it on my stomach and breathe and say, what am I feeling right now? And try to depict exactly what I'm feeling sensually, sensational, right? The senses in your body, that warmth, that tingle, that tension, that butterfly, that little vibrating feeling, that relaxation feeling. I'm not going to go do that. That doesn't make any sense. How's that going to help me not attach to the outside influences? Well, that feeling of love that I went through earlier, it's a very close feeling to peace. I bet you that you probably want to feel loved. You probably want to feel peace. You probably don't really enjoy tension in the body, right? Tension causes migraines. Tension causes muscular issues, causes structural issues with our, chiropractic issues. It can cause disease in the body. It can cause illness in numerous ways. When left unattended, it's going to cause weight gain. It's going to cause self-esteem issues. It's like tension, also known as stress, also known as worry, also known as fear, also known as your ego on rampage, okay? That will cause you suffering in so many different ways. So tapping in and feeling where you're at in little moments is going to allow you to know what you were thinking when you were not conscious of what you're thinking. And you can't control all that unconscious stuff. And thank goodness not all of it really, it's the thoughts that you consistently attach to and buy into, okay, that causes that wobble. So you've got to be able to feel where they're at, because the majority of the time we're really great at not hearing our own thoughts. But we get into, oh, I'm in this mood. Well, the mood is an after effect of the thoughts that you've been thinking. So if you don't know what you've been thinking, maybe you know how you're feeling. And maybe you know emotionally how you're feeling, but maybe you can catch it at even a spot before the emotional as to the tension in your body. Because your body, your physical body, will tell you before your emotional body. And that is going to tell you what is going on up here and where you're actually wobbling at. Okay? And then it really just comes down to going, okay, I'm wobbling, so that means that I'm not in my truth. So since I'm not in my truth, what is my truth? What is my truth? Like, how, me, nobody else, not society, not my best friend, not my partner, not my kid, not somebody that I'm talking to. How do I feel about this? What do I want? Okay? And I'm going to use, sex as a little point here, because I think that it's really, really, really important to I think most of us can figure this one out. I am a heterosexual woman, okay? A heterosexual woman. I have always been. Have I experienced other things? Yes. Which really solidified where I'm at and who I am. I wasn't questioning myself when I experienced those. Those were experiences because my partner wanted that. It was a gift, okay? So there wasn't even a waiver there. There's never been a waiver in who I am sexually. And there's my point. There's never been a waiver in who I am sexually. Now, I, for whatever reason around this one particular topic, have never allowed anybody else's influence to rule me in any way. But at my core, deep down, I've always just this is just who I am, this is just where I am, this is it. That's it. Don't try to push anything else on me. Now, somebody else, that might want to go and experience and explore may have a completely different concept to that. They may want to go and experience and explore different things. Somebody else who, if I was a lesbian, I would imagine that if I was a lesbian, that I would just know that I was a lesbian. Like, hey, here you go. Now, if I was 12, if I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, even into my early 20s, I may be questioning different things because I don't really know who I am. I haven't gotten a lot of experience around things. So I'm going to be wavering a little bit, right? Because I don't know who I am. But that's part of the learning process. Once you learn something, once you experience something, and you experience both sides of the fence on it, you should clearly be able to go, here I am. Here I am. Sex is a great space to kind of do that because we're all so different in our sex. We all have different ideas about it, fantasies about it, desires, turn-offs, non-negotiables about it. Each person is unique to themselves. Knowing yourself in that department is just, it should be a little bit clearer ground. Except there are those cases where we get into that waiver. Why are we getting into the waiver even around that? What? Desire to please others, desire not to know, perhaps just lack of experience. It does not even mean anything about anything. And here's the truth about your truth, about my truth, is that our truth as an individual doesn't matter to anybody else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So our truth about our money, our truth about our sex, our truth about our relationship, our truth about our health, our truth about what we want to do for a living, about any of it, really has no effect on anybody else. It is an inside game, always and forever. And when you are really true to yourself about whatever that subject is in your life, and the more true you get, because that truth is a growing truth, and it is about getting to know self. And the more you question yourself and you get less off the waiver, and the more you question yourself and you get less off the waiver, and you connect to the physical body and go, oh, I'm out of alignment. Oop, I'm out of alignment. Oop, I'm out of alignment. And you just move yourself back to where you feel that love, where you feel that peace, where you don't feel the tension, the tightness, the shutdown. Because if you're feeling tension, tightness, shutdown, you're not in your truth. You're not in soul alignment. And that is what that tension and shutdown is telling you. You are not in alignment. So breathe in and figure out where that is. And you will be able to gauge it by that release in your body. That feeling of, here I am. Here I am. And the more you can find yourself in that, here I am, the more aligned you are around any particular subject. So, yeah. So my kids got me off on a waiver. A couple messages got me off on a waiver. Threw me out of soul alignment this morning. Rocked my boat for a half a second. And made me go, well, what about? And the what about can really mess with your mood. Can really mess with your motivation. Can really mess with your vibration. And that messes with your ability to manifest the life that you want, because when you're wavering, you're not going to manifest much of anything at all. And that is why I'm sharing this truthfully, authentically with you guys about my waiver this morning, is because ultimately I want everybody who follows me to be able to tap into these little pieces and go, oh, I could manifest love, money, health, connection, the life that I want by just doing this little thing. This little thing. Like, oh, I'm just a little thing away. Just a little thing away. And we all waver here and there. That's what it is. It's just a waiver here and there. Don't make too much out of your waivers. Realize, okay, feel it, recognize it, own it, and let it go. Get back into alignment. Get back into alignment. As crazy as you might think that my little exercise standing in front of the mirror is, go do it. Try it. It actually works. I wouldn't share it if it didn't work. I wouldn't share it if it's something that I don't do. So, get yourself out of that wobble, out of that waiver area, and get rock solid back in who you are, into who you are for whatever subject you're wobbling on. So yeah, I say on that note, ladies, a couple more days left and for the registration of my It's Time Your Fly program, which is Unstoppable Power. This is a 12-week program for ladies. We are doing this online, but you're also getting 6 private sessions with me that we're going to be doing over Facebook live stream. This is 6 private sessions plus 12 weeks of structured training on teaching you about your unstoppable power, your beautiful, fantastic, unstoppable power of just everything that you can imagine. We're going to be doing some foundational stuff on the front side to really clear out and get out of this wobble area, right? Like whatever you're wobbling in, we're going to be talking about business. We're going to be talking about health. We're going to be talking about self-esteem. We're going to be talking about love. We're going to be talking about parenting. We're going to be talking about, you name it, what's in here, okay? And we're going to talk about how you can get out of the wobble. That is the first 4 weeks of let's just clear this wobble stuff out. Let's get right with who we are, get aligned to our core, to our soul, and really get on point there. Next up, we're going to go into creation. The next 4 weeks is going to be all about designing that life that you want, that lifestyle in all of those areas as well. So every subject's going to get covered. We're going to be touching it all, and we're going to be giving you structured foundational points, exercises, beautiful, beautiful work with the support of having a one-on-one. The third and final section to this 12 weeks, we're going to be talking a little bit more in detail about some hot and juicy topics such as money, men, and sex. So we're kind of like, that's like the dessert portion of it, and that's the stuff that, that means all a really lot to our life to have. We all want money. We want to have good money, income. We want to have good sex, and we want to have good relationships, right? So we're going to be talking about those things, but it is the dessert portion. We're just going to get very detailed around those areas after we build that foundation on that front side, okay? And of course, then we got the one-on-ones. You're going to have live training in an online group every single week, video training that will be fully recorded, tons of downloads and everything. It'll be done right here on Facebook. So make sure that you check that out. It is on deep discount right now. The registration, early bird registration, is $500 off. So make sure that you go and explore that. Sign up ASAP. There are limited spots on this because I'm doing one-on-ones. There is also limited spots on it. So make sure that you take advantage of it. Yeah. Let me see. And I am going to, guys, I've had men approach me on this. Hey, what are you doing? What's the prize? What are you doing? All this other stuff. This is a ladies workshop #1. And gentlemen, I am working on creating a male version of this for you in the next couple months as well. So make sure that you check that out. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Dustin. And morning, Beth and Kevin. Oh my goodness. Morning, Danny, Larry, Joshua. There's a whole bunch of people on here. I can't go up any further. So yeah. So everybody who just popped on, hope that you listen to the replay of this because I'm jumping off. And I will catch you guys tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. And I hope that everybody has an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. As always, stop existing, start living, and make your life unstoppable because you truly are worthy of that unstoppable power of your heart, of your soul, and being in alignment. I love you all, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.